Now, we are going to see the factors that are affecting the organization or affecting the workplace. So, let us see what are the different factors that are affecting the organization behavior. In that, we have three different factors, three important factors. That is, as I said, organization behavior at the individual level, group level, at the organization level. So, let us see one by one in detail. So, organization behavior, the factors that are responsible for organization, for the productivity or the performance organization are, the first one is individual behavior is one of the most important factors that affects the productivity of the organization. Let us see how it impacts. And so, individual behavior refers to the way in which individual reacts and behaves at the workplace. Individual behavior indicates or it refers to the human or worker behavior at the workplace, how he reacts to the situations, how he will be doing the work, what and how he does the work at the workplace, how he performs. So, what is his emotional status? It deals with the individual behavior. So, it can be defined as a combination of reactions to internal as well as external stimulus. Individual behavior defines how a person will respond to distinct conditions and will express different emotions such as love, anger, disagreement, satisfaction, etc. So, generally, different people will be reacting to different situations in a different way. So, this factor deals with how people perform and how people behave at the workplace while they are performing. So, that is what the individual behavior deals with. So, let us see what are the factors the individual behavior is dealing with. The factors are the three important factors are personal factors. The individual behavior is affected with personal factors, second one is environmental factors, and the third one is organizational factors. The three important factors that are impacting the individual behavior is, the first one is personal factors, second one is environmental factors, and the third one is organizational factors. So, personal factors are nothing but the factors that you brought up from the hereditary, from your parents, from your ancestors, your, it might be your charm, your physical, and sometimes your anger. All these things comes under genetical factors. So, the personal factors are of two types. One is biological factors, second one is learned characteristics. These biological factors are said to be hereditary, that are hailed from your hereditary or genetical factors. It can be the physical structure or your physical structure or your physical characteristics, your eyes, your nose, and the way you express the things, and sometimes which influence the performance of the individual. It can be your height, weight, and all these things. The physical, your outward look can also see, or physical characteristics of an individual. So, and the next one is your age, your gender, marital status, all this comes under biological factors. These are the factors that you will be inheriting through genetical, or else your ancestors, your parents and your relatives. So, coming to the next factor, which is learned factors. That learned factors are the factors that you will be adopting or getting from the environment in which you live in, or in which you persist. So, through that you will be learning the things, the external things. So, the environment through which you are getting interacted. Okay, so the learned characteristic refers to the changes in persons brought by interactions with the environment, changes in the persons brought by the interactions in the environment. When you're in which environment you are into, you'll be getting attracted with the characteristics, and you will carrying those characteristics unknowingly or unconsciously or consciously. So, personality solely does not physical characters. Generally we'll see she has a very good personality, means it doesn't mean she is having very charming face, she's looking beautiful. It doesn't always mean the physical structure or physical characteristics of a person. The personality indicates the emotional or else the way he reacts to the situations. Some people type of personality, extrovertism, introvertism, or we can say agreeableness, and these are all comes under conciseness. All this comes under the different types of personalities. So the personality always doesn't mean that physical characteristics of the person. So it can be individual psychological system. It is the psychological system, how he is reacting to the situations. So how he is carrying his tempo at time of critical situations, okay, whether he is having emotional stability or not. So these are all will be, it comes under personality. These are personal traits of a person. Personal traits are nothing but personal characteristics, the personalities, personal traits of the person that comprise of patience, extrovertism, dominance, aggressiveness, etc. Okay, introvertism, extrovertism, disagreements, agreeableness. Okay, all these kinds of persons are called as personalities. So next is perception. In learning characteristics, the first one is personality and the second characteristic is perception. Perception is nothing but the way you perceive the things. If you have taken to a movie, some people may like the fighting, some people may don't like violence. So it all depends upon the kind of taste they possess, and based upon it they perceive the things. The movie is very nice, some people may say that the movie is horrible, it is completely based upon fights, I don't like the complete violence. So that is how the people differ in their personality. Okay, so the personality is a viewpoint of individual through which it interrupts a particular situation. Based upon your kind of personality, you will be interpreting the situations in a way. So what I said, in a movie, you based upon your taste and preferences, you may give your output that the movie is good, the movie is bad, based upon your taste and preferences and the way you perceive the things. Okay, so perception is defined as a process which information enters the mind and interpretation takes place for providing some sensible meaning to that world, for giving a sensible meaning or sensible, I can say sensible output, sensible comment on something. You will be the whatever you have seen, perceived, it will be entering into your mind, and based upon your taste and preferences, based upon the way your viewpoint is, you will be interpreting that situation in your own words. That is called as perception. And coming to the values, learned changes is or learned characteristics, in that values is one of the most important values, where you will be learning from right from your childhood, from your parents, some beliefs and values that you will be following right from your childhood, and at your office, and also with the people within your place, or else from the environment in which you live within. So these are global beliefs that guides distinct actions and judgments in several situations. So coming to, it comprises of idea of individuals that is based on, so values are nothing but which gives a distinct nature to differentiate between good, right, bad or something. You can give a justification that it is good work, it is bad, you should not do that, based upon predetermined interpretations that is being held by you from your childhood, from the environment. Okay, these are learned characteristics are perception, personality, values, etc. And coming to the second factor is environmental factors. These environmental factors are the external factors that has effective role in influencing the individual behavior. Second factor is environmental factors. What are those environmental factors? The environmental factors at the workplace is work settings, your wages at the workplace, your political factors, and general economic environment, and also wage rate. Generally, people get influenced if your wage rate is very high when compared to the same work who is in another company. Definitely, you will have higher satisfaction levels. So, and the first one is employment level. If the economic crisis is going on, if you don't have, if there is job opportunities are very less in the present year, definitely they'll be having a greater impact on the economic status of the country. It impacts the total employee performance also. He don't leave the job. If there is too many job opportunities are there, definitely he'll be hoping the job from one job to another job till he gets satisfaction. So the behavior also, this is one of the employment level of the nation also having a greater impact. And coming to the political factors say like based upon the present status of the political factors of political party, it also impacts the organization, regulations, rules that impacts the employee performance, because organization is getting affected. If because of political change in political scenario of the state, if the organization has to lose its size of production, definitely it leads to downsizing. What is meant by downsizing? Downsizing is nothing but reduction in the size of the organization. So how can you reduce the size of the organization? By retrenching the employees, or by laying off the employees, or terminating the employees. These are the different ways that may affect the organization or individuals through political factors. And coming to the organization factors. So organization factors. So in this we'll be seeing how the organization get affected with. The organization get affected with physical facilities, structure and design, and reward system. Physical facilities is nothing but physical working conditions. When you're started an organization, you need to provide the basic physical working conditions to make the person or the worker feel comfortable to work with the organization. If you are not able to provide sufficient or adequate working conditions, it may leads to reduced performance and high cost to the company. So it is very important. Physical facilities are very important. And structure and the design of the organization. If the structure of the organization is very complicated organization, in which it is very harder for the manager to handle, sometimes there is a lot of ambiguity or confusion arises in the structure, because it is very complex in nature. So make the organization structure to be very simple, and the design should be appropriate to the prevailing conditions. So reward system, which is very important system of motivation. A reward system should be like fair reward system. In every organization, there shouldn't be any kind of bias when coming to the reward system. It should be appropriately and fairly given to the employees based upon their performance, not based upon any further factors. So the physical environment is nothing but individual behavior based upon the physical working conditions of the organization, and structure of the organization should be simple and should be very easy to handle. And third one is reward system. So thank you. These are the factors I can say that influences the organization performance at its greatest level.